This video was made possible thanks to our Patreon supporters.
Previously on Growth Spurts.
Can you measure me, big bro? I think I might have grown again.
She really is 4'1". She's grown 4 inches taller in a week.
Suddenly, Jessica lurches 3 inches taller, confusion dominating her face, which quickly turns to joy as she continues to slowly expand. It gets to the point where it is the same size as her, and still she forces it to blow up bigger and bigger, taking up almost all of the room.
Sorry, guess we should have looked into getting a bigger room for the both of us.
Because I'm too big to fit in there now, silly. And I don't think I'm even remotely done growing.
Coincidentally, or perhaps not, no sooner had she said that she wasn't done growing than Jessica's body once again began to do just that. The now 16-year-old was positively beaming as she grew foot after foot after foot taller. Matt was too mesmerized by the sight to move, and so got plowed into one of her humongous feet as she surged higher and higher. All too soon, for Jessica anyway, she stopped growing at a neck-straining 24 feet tall. A full 10 feet worth of growth.
Brother, you're not hurt, are you? I didn't mean to.
I'm fine, Jessica. Really. I don't think you're big enough yet to hurt me just by having your foot grow into me.
Jessica breathed a sigh of relief, which made the leaves in a nearby tree rustle like in a strong breeze, then stated a genuine,
Thank goodness.
Before picking up her inflatable unicorn. Being too large to wrap her lips around the airport, she instead simply wrapped her lips around the nozzle's general area and blew. The unicorn made several increasingly louder squeaks as it inflated larger and larger, almost as if it enjoyed this as much as she did. She stopped once it was about double her current height.
My unicorn is still my favorite toy. It's almost like a friend to me, and deserves to become just as big as I'll become, however big that will be. Maybe until I'm too big to stay on Earth. Maybe when even the solar system pales in comparison to me. I don't know.
That's very mature for Jessica.
And I'm totally looking forward to getting there. Growing bigger and bigger rocks.
Or not. Jessica, have you matured since earlier this morning? When I didn't have to look up at you? Mentally, I mean?
Of course I have. I'm effectively just about as old as you are now. Believe it or not, I still like the idea of being your younger sister. Just, I love the idea of being bigger than you. And bigger, and bigger, and bigger!
Jessica then ever so gently picked Matt up and placed him on the roof of the house, which thankfully was relatively flat.
I'm not taking chances, brother. I don't mind you looking at my body as I continue to grow bigger, but I don't want to risk hurting you again. So you can watch here in relative safety if you want.
Matt didn't complain. He had to admit his giantess of a sister had a point, and he didn't want to get squashed beneath her. Even if he was beginning to suspect that his life wouldn't be in danger, even if she accidentally sat on him at this point.
Even if she's not aware of it yet, I get the feeling her subconscious will protect me from being harmed by her in ways I can't even think of.
Oh! I can feel it this time!
Jessica's body began to swell yet again, reaching, then leaving 30 feet behind in a matter of moments. She continued to grow up and up, until she stopped at just over 46 feet.
Matt was, at this point, surprised that her clothing hadn't broken, or even appeared to strain. Jessica, as if responding to his inner thoughts, said,
Now, just because I'm a growing girl doesn't mean I should give up on some modesty. Even if this body is so hot, covering it up should be a crime. Who wouldn't want the polar ice caps melting, or filling the streets with the blood of every man in the neighborhood bleeding out through their nose at the sight of me? I wouldn't want to be responsible for their deaths, even if they would claim it to be a happy one.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. What's that sound?
The 50-foot woman is about to have nothing on me, if you get my drift.
And with that, she didn't just grow, she exploded. 50, 60, Even 70 feet were met and then dismissed just as quickly. Jessica fell onto her growing posterior from the sheer force, causing what felt almost like an earthquake and raised a lot of dust that seemed hardly significant next to her as she still grew. She was enjoying every millisecond of her growth, savoring it until she came to a halt at a jaw-dropping 89 feet. Once the dust settled and the massive sister got up, Matt wasn't at all surprised that the dust being kicked up was all that had happened underneath her tremendous rump. It seemed his assumption from earlier was more than correct. She was ensuring her body would do no harm to anything, no matter how careless she might accidentally be.
See? Told you that woman would have nothing on me.
While her voice was indeed very loud, it didn't seem like it matched her current size, which would likely be almost ear-splitting in volume. Matt guessed she was deliberately ensuring that even her voice wouldn't harm anyone listening to it, though it probably still carried on for at least half a mile.
Since you're basically a goddess now.
Not yet, I'm not, but I'm sure I'll get there soon. Don't you worry, bro. Anyway, please continue after I rudely interrupted you.
Since you can keep yourself from wrecking the ground below you, how about you do something about that hole in the wall you created earlier before Mom and Dad kill us? Well, me anyway. I can't think of much of anything short of a nuke that could even hurt you without you willing it to.
I said I think I could fix it earlier, and I'm a girl of my word. So, there.
Jessica snapped her fingers, and in a bright flash, the hole in the wall was gone, as if it was never there. She also restored the wall on the other side, considering it was her bedroom. Not that she'd ever even fit in her home anymore, let alone her bedroom.
I made just a couple of changes, though. I've given myself a bigger bed appropriate for a 16-year-old. Pink, of course, and...
But why? You'll never fit in there again.
I was getting to that, doofus. I don't want her parents continuing to think that I was still 6 years old, so I changed everyone's memories, except yours, so that they believe I should be a 16-year-old, born about a year after you. I may make my best friends older too, and their parents remember it that way. Later I think it may make things better. I'm not sure yet. Though if any of them would like to join me, I wouldn't mind obliging their wish. I'd certainly make the journey ahead even less lonely. Speaking of which, where did you get off to, my little unicorn? Aha!
Jessica located her unicorn, which she now was almost twice the size of, and picked it up. She then proceeded to once again blow into it, making it bigger and bigger until it was about 200 feet tall. Though she kept its squeaks that she adored from being deafening.
Call me crazy, sis, but do you have to blow up your unicorn? Can't you just make it grow with you?
Of course I could, but where's the fun in that? I imagine I'll still blow it up even when we're in the vacuum of space.
And did you have to make a flash when you fixed our house like Q?
Q? I was mimicking Discord. Then again, Discord is based on Q and has the same actor. I thought it was cool, okay?
And that's the end of part 2. Join us next Monday for the next part of Jessica and Matt's growing adventure, where they're joined by a new growing friend. I'll see you then.